Can you beat the entire Tomb Raider trilogy in under 24 hours? That's today's challenge. These games normally take around 60 hours combined, and I'm going to try and do that in less than 24. Let's kick things off with the first one, Tomb Raider 2013. Starting off, we're in the Dragon's Triangle, south of Japan, where Laura finds herself caught in a brutal storm, her ship gets torn apart, and she wakes up shipwrecked, hanging upside down in a cave. This game wastes absolutely no time, as within minutes Laura is already impaled, burned, and kidnapped.
I'm gonna have to pull this out, alright, yep. Yeah, that sounds like it would hurt. Ow.
We then see an opening out of the cave, and as it starts collapsing around us, we barely make it out in time. That's when the official Tomb Raider title hits the screen, and it sets the tone perfectly for the rest of the game. We then reunite with our friends at the campsite, but quickly find out that Sam is still missing. So Laura decides she's gonna head out and find her. This then leads us to our first real combat encounter of the game.
Am I able to sneak attack? Oh, okay, I am. Alright, go to sleep, 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 go to sleep. Okay, one's down. That's 2 down. 3. And 4.
After that, we come across a nearby radio station, but the signal isn't strong enough to reach anyone. That's when we talk to Alex, the local tech nerd, who tells us that the only way to boost the signal is to get on top of the island's giant radio tower. But before we're able to reach the tower, the island's not so friendly inhabitants make it clear they don't want us calling for help, even sending out armored enemies to stop us. Luckily, with a few well-placed shots and some last-minute dodges, we push through quicker than expected. Alright, and Big Boy is down. We then make our way onto the radio tower and begin the climb. This is one of my favorite moments in the entire game. The scenery, the camera angles, and the music. It all comes together so perfectly. After we reach the top, Laura finds the emergency broadcast station and tries to send out a distress signal. Am I doing this wrong? I feel like I should... Okay. Which way am I supposed to be turning it? I feel... Okay, yay! I figured it out. With the nearby military crew responding to our signal and sending a rescue plane, we get ready to be saved. Or so we thought. The plane starts to descend, and then everything goes wrong. It gets caught in the same storm that wrecked our ship, and just like that, we're back where we started. With the plane heading right towards us, Laura has no other option but to run. She jumps down the hillside, leading into the first big sliding sequence of the game. She barely manages to hang on during the end, before pulling herself back up.
Oh, pause. Nope. Okay. I wasn't ready to be pushing a button there.
After catching her breath, Laura is ambushed by enemies and nearly killed, until Roth steps in, showing off his expert marksmanship and saving her just in time. After a quick chit-chat, we find out that Sam is being held somewhere across the bridge, and just like that, the mission continues. With Roth's help, we begin making our way across the bridge. It's not exactly the most relaxing stroll. Enemies show up trying to cut us off, but Roth picks them off with pinpoint accuracy, while we focus on the platforming section filled with jumps and gaps. It's quick, but it adds enough tension to keep things moving. We then find where Sam is being held, and with it, our first real look at the cult behind everything. Their leader, a man named Matthias, believes Sam is the key to resurrecting an ancient being known as the Sun Queen. Laura, hearing this, quickly creates a distraction, but almost gets caught in the process. She scrambles to escape and ends up falling down into one of the most cinematic shots in the entire game.
That's so good. That's such a good shot. Is that like water mixed with blood, or is it just blood? Because if so, like that is a lot of blood.
Everyone then regroups outside, but sadly Roth didn't make it. It's a rough moment for the group, but after some time, they decide the best way to escape the island is by boat. The only problem is that Alex is trapped on the ship with the parts they need to repair it. So with that said, Laura sets out across the beach to reach him, but before she can actually get to him, she has to fight her way through a building full of cultists standing in her way. I'm gonna see if I can do this without getting seen. I feel like I could do that. We'll get one down. We'll get these two guys here. 1 and 2. Okay, I don't think anybody sees me, so we'll get number 4 right here. There's no way this will alert him, right? 5. Yeah, okay, we're good. 5. we'll just sneak behind you, and you'll be number 6. And we'll get you, you'll be number 7. And I don't think anybody else is here. Yeah, we'll get you, you'll be number 8. And I think that's it. Yeah, I lied. There's one more right at the doorway. I think I can just jump up here if I can. Ooh, I can't grab it. Did you see? He saw me? There's no way he saw me. Dang. Okay. Now I gotta deal with you guys. That was pretty easy, actually. Never mind.
After clearing the area, we make our way to the zipline and descend down to the boat, all while taking in the beautiful view. We finally find Alex, but he's trapped. Knowing there's no way out for him, he hands over the tools we need and sacrifices himself so Laura can escape and finish what they started.
We then make it back to our group where we learn that Sam has been taken. Again. And to make things worse, the storm isn't just random, it's keeping us trapped here. But Laura does a much better job explaining what's really going on, so I'll just let her take it from here.
There were scientists here during World War II, and they believed the storms were controlled by something in a ritual chamber near the monastery. Look, I don't have all the answers, but Sam being taken, I know it's linked. And if we try to leave here without understanding why, then we'll all die. Just like the pilots. Just like Roth.
Laura deserves a shot.
We can't go back to their stronghold. It'd be suicide.
They won't take her there. They'll take her to the ritual chamber. We can use this inlet to get closer.
With everyone on board and a plan in place, we sneak our way towards the ritual chamber, making sure not to get spotted. After we reach the summit, we are just in time to interrupt the ritual. A fight breaks out, we take down Matthias, save Sam, and bring an end to the ritual once and for all. With everyone safe, we fix the boat and finally head home, bringing the story of the first Tomb Raider game to a close. So, how long did it take me to finish? It took me 4 hours and 48 minutes. Not bad for a game that usually takes double that time. But we're not done yet, as we still have to complete 2 more games. In the next game, Rise of the Tomb Raider kicks things up a notch. Because right out of the gate, everything just feels better. The graphics are a huge step up. The snowy cliffs, falling debris, and the cinematic lighting everywhere you look. Even the music feels more dynamic. Everything you do just feels better. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into Rise of the Tomb Raider 2015. The game opens up with Laura and Jonah climbing the icy cliffs of the Siberian mountains, all in search of the lost city. This is where the game reintroduces us to the controls and really lets us take in the graphic overhaul. But with an avalanche incoming, things go south fast. Laura and Jonah get separated and Laura is swept up in the chaos, buried under snow and ice. She then wakes up freezing and disorientated, and on top of that, she can't reach Jonah on the radio. This is where we find a small campsite and start a fire, just to survive the night. We then pick up a transmission on the radio and learn that Trinity, a organization trying to stop Laura, is also here in search of the lost city. Spotting a red flare in the air, we head off to investigate, only to get surprised by a massive bear. This then kicks off a chase sequence where we are forced to dodge and escape the bear. We then stumble upon a heavily guarded area that turns out Trinity has set up a base of operations using an abandoned Cold War outpost. But with our camp being so close to that outpost, Trinity finds it, and we are forced to fight back. We pick the guards off one by one, successfully sneaking our way through the patrol. We are then introduced to a new character, Sophia. She warns us that Trinity has been here for a couple of days and has already taken many of her people hostage. But just as quickly as she appears, she vanishes. Laura then travels deeper into the outpost and comes across some unsuspecting guards. Let's get you out of the way. Two. And 3. This whole time you just never turned around. You're gonna be number 4. And number 5. Laura makes her way through the base and we are introduced to Constantine, the leader of Trinity. We then listen in on their conversation where we learn that he is after the divine source,
an ancient artifact said to grant immortality. Not long after, Laura gets captured by Trinity. They believe she knows the location of the divine source, so they lock her up. And this is where we meet Jacob, the quiet but commanding leader of the people resisting Trinity's advance. After we introduce ourselves and find a way out, we make sure to give him a radio so that we can stay in contact. Now that we are able to check in on each other, we make a not-so-quiet escape and meet up after. Laura and Jacob then have a heart-to-heart where we learn that Jacob's village is in danger. Luckily, it's just on the other side of the copper mines. We then make it to the village and it's surprisingly large. Dozens of people, makeshift defenses, and the clear sense that it's a community under threat. But there's no time to relax. The village needs help, and fast. Trinity is closing in, and they need to light the signal fires to warn the nearby settlements to evacuate. Without another word, we start climbing the nearest tower, and we light the fire.
Thank you, Lara. Our people have been warned. That should give them time to evacuate.
With the fires lit just in time, Trinity launches their assault on the village. We're thrown straight into the action, forced to fight our way through enemies, including a new threat, flamethrowers. They're tough, but not invincible. Target the fuel tanks on their backs, and they go up in flames. After we finish clearing out the attackers, we get word from Sophia that she's found Jonah. With Jonah now back at our side, we meet up with Jacob inside a massive chamber. We then light up the map showing a stunning visual display of where the divine source is really hidden. We then make our way to the underground sanctuary, an ancient and crumbling structure buried deep within the mountains. As we climb towards the top, it's clear that Trinity is right behind us. Explosions shake the halls and debris rains down. This is where we have our final encounter with Constantine. In order to take him down, we have to use stealth and timing, striking from behind and above.
Just you and I now, Lara. You have no weapons.
I mean, I do have a pretty sharp axe I'm about to stick in your back. Is he coming? Oh, okay, here we go. And jump. Ow. Oh, that's a grenade. He's just wasting so much ammo. You hear how many shots he's wasting?
Brilliant man. But he was weak.
Ooh, we missed that! We do not miss that! Runway.
Okay, let's try this again. And there we go. Dodge. And... ooh. With Constantine out of the way, we finally reach the divine source. But with no other choice, Laura destroys it, deciding that nobody should have this kind of power. Laura is then seen back at her home with Jonah, decompressing from everything that just happened. She then makes her way for the plane she has to catch, setting up the next game, bringing Rise of the Tomb Raider to a close. So, let's check how long it took me to finish. It took me 7 hours and 56 minutes. That brings our running total to 12 hours and 44. But before I go any further, if you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out and lets me keep doing more projects like this. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump to the final game of the trilogy, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The game then opens up, instantly showing us the insane graphical upgrade. Laura is trapped in a cave, desperately trying to get her leg unstuck. After eventually getting her leg free, she climbs through the very narrow cave, avoiding a cave-in. She then finds the temple and tries to document it with photos, but doesn't realize that Trinity has already been here. A trap is triggered and the entire cave begins to collapse. After narrowly escaping the cave-in, Laura and Jonah meet up at the local restaurant to go over the clues they've uncovered. After learning that there's another tomb nearby, Laura wastes no time and heads straight towards it. After a few platforming sections, we enter the tomb and find the dagger. But with Trinity right behind us, Laura grabs the dagger to keep it out of their hands and tries to sneak away. We then take out a few guards using the new hiding mechanic. We then sneak around to take out the other 2 guards patrolling the area. Laura then enters a hallway where she's struck from behind and we're introduced to Dr. Dominguez, the new leader of Trinity. He then takes the sacrificial blade and thanks Laura for finding it for him. He then warns Laura that a series of natural disasters is about to unfold. He then leaves, and right when we look behind us, a huge flood is coming our way. Laura then escapes the flood by getting to higher ground, and that's where she finds Jonah, and they make a plan together. The next clues point to the Amazon River in Peru, so that's where we head. But planes in this series don't really mix, so we get caught in a hailstorm, and we end up crashing. We then find our supplies and reunite with Jonah, where he tells us that there is a village nearby where we might be able to get some help. But before reaching the village, we have to sneak under a tank and pass several Trinity guards patrolling the area. It doesn't go perfectly, but with Jonah's help, we manage to get through unharmed. We eventually make it to the village where we meet Abby, a friendly local.
After sharing what we've discovered, she mentions that there are some nearby ruins that bear the same symbol we've been investigating. We then open the door with the same symbols on it, revealing an ancient temple in the background. But then, part of the temple explodes, revealing that Trinity have beaten us to it. Later on, we come across a young boy caught in a trap, and quickly move to free him. The commotion draws the attention of the locals, who arrive wary and uncertain about our presence. That's when we're confronted by Unuratu, their leader. After learning that we want to stop Trinity, she decides to trust us and reveals the location of the next artifact. Before we can reach the artifact, we discover that Dr. Dominguez has been impersonating a tribal leader, and it becomes clear that anyone who opposes him is swiftly executed. We then find the artifact and bring it back to Unuratu. She then tells us that the key can be used to unlock a nearby temple, where we might be able to uncover more information. We manage to uncover the location of the next clue, but before we can act on it, we're thrown into a chase sequence, forced to flee from a group of not so friendly natives on our trail.
After making the final leap of the chase sequence, we catch our breath and head off towards the next part of the clue. Laura and Jonah head down the river, but are intercepted by Trinity forces, forcing her to jump off the boat and swim to shore. Once there, Laura decides that it's time to show off her hand-to-hand combat skills. Oh, she mad. Oh. Oh, she's got a guillotine. She's got a guillotine. I mean, if, Tomb Raiding doesn't work out, she's always got a future in UFC. She's got an armbar. Oh, she's got him here. Yep, there's the crunch. We then climb a mountain, take out a few guards along the way, and even manage to save some time by sneaking past the rest entirely. I wonder if I can just jump past them? No way that worked. Okay, well, that was easy. Nice little time save. Laura then falls from the tower into the water, and just like from the first Tomb Raider game, we're treated to another cinematic shot as she comes out from the water. Ooh, that was a good shot. That's such a good shot. I mean, to be fair, I'd be crapping my pants if I saw that coming towards me. We reunite with Jonah for what feels like the 100th time, and decide our next destination is an ancient church in San Juan, Peru. After exploring the church, we uncover the Box of Ishel, the powerful artifact that Trinity has been searching for. I mean, good thing that we found it, right? But if this guy didn't want Trinity finding it, or anybody finding it, like, why not just find a random pond somewhere and just chuck it in there? Don't tell anybody, don't leave any clues, just throw it in there. I feel like that'd be so much easier. But just as we get our hands on the artifact, the floor collapses beneath Laura, plunging her into an underwater section. After narrowly making it through, she surfaces, only to find that Jonah has been captured by Trinity, yet again. Left with no choice, Laura trades the Box of Ishel to save him. With both items in his possession, Dominguez sets off to complete his ritual. But we know where that is going to take place. We waste no time and head after him. With the ritual nearly complete, and Dominguez glowing like an overcharged glow stick, we face off in a final battle. Laura drives the ritual knife into him, putting an end to his plans and ensuring he can't use the power for evil. The game comes to a close with Laura writing a letter to Jonah, telling him she's finally ready to slow down and take a break, bringing the Tomb Raider trilogy to an end. With Shadow of the Tomb Raider now complete, that means we've officially finished all 3 games in the Tomb Raider trilogy. For Tomb Raider 2013, it took me 4 hours and 48 minutes. For Rise of the Tomb Raider 2015, it clocked in at 7 hours and 56 minutes. And for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it took me 9 hours and 22 minutes. That brings the total to 22 hours and 6 minutes, with just 1 hour and 54 minutes to spare. Not a huge buffer, but just enough to complete the challenge. I had a ton of fun making this video. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did making it. And with all that said, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.